This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
If you commit to something, do it. If you don't want to do it, say no. But if you say yeah and you committed to something, you got to do it. Stick it out. Do it.
And co-host Marnie Winfield.
My rent is paid. I have a roof over my head. I'm married to the most amazing man in the world who cares about me and supports me, keeps me safe, and I don't know. I got it all.
What you do for your man, though. It is the 5th of March, 2022. My name is Corey Winfield.
My name is Marnie Winfield.
Welcome to 217 Recovery Podcast, Saturday night. Had a little date night tonight.
We did.
It was so much fun. We went to a city called Empire, and it's in Michigan, in northern Michigan, and it was a bar.
It is, yeah.
It was a bar restaurant.
Sometimes they have the best food.
Yes, they do. And they had a really good pizza. Mm-hmm. I don't know the name of the place, though.
Of where we went?
Yeah.
The Village Inn.
Oh, okay. The Village Inn in Empire. Mm-hmm. Good food. And we had something, they called them wings, but they were not wings.
They were like mini chicken drumsticks.
Yeah, but they were really, really good.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah. And that city is very small.
Town.
Yeah. I don't even think it qualifies as a city. Village. It's Village Inn.
A couple people in the church. I don't know.
It's a very popular summer place because it's like up against the sand dunes. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people go there, during the summertime.
Is that called the Sleeping Bear Dunes?
Sleeping Bear Dunes, yeah. It's a national park. And
been there.
Yeah.
But see, don't go there thinking you're going to see the sleeping bear because it's like gone.
No, it's, I know, it's a story where they got the name.
Gone. Because the wind blew the sand thing, that blew the hill down.
When it's seeping. But
I'm pretty sure it's gone. Like they were like, back in the day, you could see it. It looked like a bear, but it doesn't look like it now.
Oh, really? I see. I thought it was just the folklore, the story of how it got its name.
Yeah, you can still go check it out. And there's like this big, and my stepdad and little brother, they lost their damn mind. They ran down this big sand dune hill of probably about 18 million feet. And then they had to climb back up. So we waited, and I would have died.
Yeah, there are several parts where you can climb them. Some of the dunes are higher than others.
Yeah, sorry, we had cat problems in here.
They tend to find like the dangling things that are everywhere, and then they become toys. Mm-hmm. So
it's better than
now she's looking at me like I did something mean. Yeah,
because I was looking at you like, stop the cat. Mm-hmm. It's your cat. Like how I do that now?
Yeah, when it's misbehaving, it's my cat. Mm-hmm. I hope you don't do that when we have a child.
Well, I mean, maybe. I don't know. And no, we're not with child yet.
No, not yet.
But I feel it. I feel it coming. Like, no pun intended.
Oh, good Lord.
I love recovery. Life is good today. But then after dinner, we had a meeting. Mm-hmm. And that was fun. It wasn't the meeting I thought we were going to. I was confused. Our friend Justin, he had taken me to this other meeting a while ago. And I thought, man, Marnie would really like this group. And so that's where I thought we were going. And then I put it in the GPS. I'm like, yeah, just there. Mm-hmm. And then it starts taking me there. I'm like, no, that's not where we're going. That's not the meeting. And it turns out, yeah, that was the meeting. Mm-hmm. And Justin was already there because he said he was going to go too. And our friend Adam showed up. So it was pretty fun. It was a speaker meeting, and the guy was talking about obsessions. And for him, he said he's been in the program 20 years in the AA program, and the first 10 he just showed up to get his slip signed.
Yep.
And some of the stuff he was talking about, as far as like, just admit that you don't know it all, and you don't have to know it all, and learn from your mistakes, and everybody makes mistakes, and don't be too hard on yourself, and don't let others be hard on you when you make mistakes. I could relate to some of that stuff. And
yeah, his message is really good.
Yeah, it was a good meeting. I know what's said here, or whatever stays here, but okay. I never adhered to that.
Oh, jeez.
And I ain't say no names except Adam and Justin. And there's lots of Adam and Justins in this world. Mm-hmm. So whatever. If you thought I was talking about you, you were wrong.
So Corey and I were having this conversation about going to meetings, and we both work in the field of recovery, and my employer happens to be a treatment center. So we have clients, and I'm an employee / staff member, however you want to look at it. And I guess in some capacity in charge of, of clients in some way, shape, or form. And, we encourage, obviously, I think everyone who's in recovery should follow. Well, I mean, I guess it depends, but whatever works for you. But in terms of following a pathway, these meetings are events where you show up and, share and et cetera about what's going on with you in your life and et cetera, et cetera. And, there's that kind of unsaid, I guess, awkwardness, maybe if you let it be, to where, I myself am in the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm a person in recovery, and I definitely earned my seat there, if you want to say that. But, so that I don't want that to take away from, any other people that I know in a different capacity. So that was a little, one of the things I think about, but at the same time, I think it's awesome seeing people in the real world doing the thing, sitting there and watching people walk through the doors. You had no idea that they had no idea that I was going to be there and vice versa. And here we are, Yeah,
it's kind of like Adam, he didn't, the last time I had seen Adam was at a meeting that I invited him to. I was like, hey, let's go to this meeting. He's all right. So it's cool when you see people that and like you said, in the real world, like walking through the doors, you're like, yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, right.
It is very cool. But I understand what you meant, because first you're like, wait, what? No, man. Like, you didn't say no. You didn't even sound like that when you said it. But I could see where you would be hesitant, like, man. And you weren't like, oh, I don't want to see them. It was like, I don't want to interfere with them and what they could share. Right. I don't want them to hold back.
Yeah. And it's because it's not so much about me and my disclosure of things that I, would share at a meeting. It's me wanting everyone else to be comfortable to be able to share what they want, and having my presence not be something that gets in the way.
That was your cat that hit that button.
The kitty just walked on the soundboard and decided that was a good button to press.
I'm just going to hold her like this, except I'm moving my finger because I realized where that was going. That was up your booty. Hey, kitty. She's not going to talk. She's not like Nico. She's just looking.
I know.
Anyway, yeah, the share that I had was kind of a silly one tonight, but I kind of want to do that because we were going to do a little 217 stuff there today, and I got mine in. But it was kind of true and kind of false at the same time. And that's what we have, our little 217 moments when we go to meetings. I like to have fun with it. And it's something that I used to do on the radio. It's something that I did last time I was in treatment a lot with Rob and Matt, is we give people stuff to say. But we can't just blurt it out. We can't just be like, cat's ass. Okay, blah, 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 cat's ass. You have to work it into a real story. And I would tell them the story where Rusty would come see me in the hospital. Rusty is my friend who passed away last month. And he came to see me, and he did ask me something, and I just went along with it. Yep. Because you know how you ask somebody, say, hey, do you know how to do this? Or you know what that is? Oh, yeah. Yep, I know.
Because you don't want to have them explain it to you? Yeah. So you just say, yeah, I know.
Yeah, yep, I know what you're talking about. And he said something just really dumb, and I was like, yeah. And he told me that's why, I kept relapsing. It was because of this or whatever. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you don't know what that is? I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, what is it? And I was like, man... He's like, no, because it's nothing. It was a song lyric or something like that. And I was like, all right. And he's like, you don't know everything. I don't know everything, but you have to learn from your mistakes, because I was really hard on myself when I would relapse. And he's like, look, man, nobody knows. Nobody's perfect. And it really kind of helped me. So I kind of shared that story, except I made it up with the lyrics from Man for Man, Blinded by the Light. Or was it Blinded by the Light? I don't know. It was, Yeah, it was gave your anus curly whirly. And
I don't think that that's actually the lyric.
It might not be. I don't know.
I'm going to go with it's not, but it was entertaining that you did use that in the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm like, he pulled it off. Wow.
Yeah, Corey don't play. I will say some ridiculous stuff, and it really helps you kind of get the other stuff out. And it was quiet, like nobody had talked in probably minutes, and it was just like you could hear a pin drop. And I just thought, okay, here we go. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna do it, because that's what I said, and we didn't realize it was a speaker meeting until we got there. And then it was like, oh, we can't really play our game today.
Yeah,
but I did get it in, and it was fun. Made people laugh. And it was true, not exactly true, but the gist of it was there.
Yeah.
And there was a guy there from out of town, from East Lansing, him and his fiance. See, the cat's fighting in the background. I think it adds character to our podcast.
It's the real world.
Have you ever listened to another podcast where cats are just in the background fighting?
I know.
Again, you can place your bets.
Yep.
Nico's the bigger cat. She's older.
Yeah.
Luna's the younger, but she's growing like a tumbleweed.
She
or a weed.
is.
I guess not a tumbleweed. Those aren't growing.
She is getting so big. Yeah, we're talking about you.
Yep, Nico's walking away down the hall. She went to her dressing room. So I think she won that fight. Luna's still down on the mat. Mm-hmm. But yeah, again, what other podcast has cats fighting in the background or
None.
jumping on the board, hitting sound effect buttons? None.
Yeah.
We have the most recovery podcast episodes, the most episodes about recovery, the most in the world.
Yep.
So thank you. You found us. Now, thank you. Now come back. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
Another cool thing that happened tonight was you ran into somebody that you had met from a while ago.
Yeah, 217 Recovery Rides. And we take people to and from treatment. And I actually brought him home from a treatment center. And I was just kind of sitting there before the meeting started, and he came up and he was like, Corey? I was like, uh-oh, is this good or bad? And he kind of had a smile on his face a little bit, and he was like, hey, man, you gave me a ride. And I immediately knew who he was. I was like, oh, yeah, yep. And I was worried when I dropped him off. And he even said, he was like, yeah, I didn't have a plan. And he ended up having to go back to treatment one more time, but he got his year coin today. So big congrats to him. I'm not going to say his name.
Right.
But it starts with the S, ends with the T.
Well, I don't know. It's moments like that are just, I don't know, so super they would just like make you feel good. It's like you're so proud of your your fellow.
If you really think about it, there was a guy there that has over 2 years clean that I drove home from treatment. That gentleman had got his year today. And then the other guy that was there that I've driven to from treatment, it's 3 months. He just got his 3-month coin, had it in his pocket, pulled it out and showed me. It's a nice green one. So if you think about it, like that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
You can be at a meeting and, 3 of those people I helped get home from treatment safe and chatted away with them, know, and to see that they all got some time under their belt, it's really, really cool. And that's kind of what we do. I had a guy call me yesterday, but I got the voicemail and called him back today, but he's a lawyer from Lansing. And he's like, hey, I heard that maybe you could help me with this. I'm trying to get there's a guy right now in jail in Lansing, and he needs to go to treatment. He's like, jail's not doing nothing for him. And even the judge knows that. But the problem is we need to get him from jail to Traverse City. And that's where you guys are. I say, yep, that's what we do, man. Definitely help you with that. And I kind of told him what he needed to do, who he needed to call, and who could, make that happen to give us a call. Because just calling us, like you can't really do much, but there's other organizations, Hope Not Handcuffs being one of them, who can do that. They have the funding. Gas, as you know, is not cheap. It's not free.
Right.
Oil changes can be free thanks to Break and Alignment Plus in Traverse City. They hook us up big time. But, things do cost money and stuff like that. But it's great, man, what Hope Not Handcuffs, what they do. And, even this guy taking the time, which he said the judge made him do, but taking the time to reach out and say, what can we do? And then this other organization, for them saying, hey, 217 Recovery, that's kind of the thing they do once you give them a call and see if they can help you. And it's cool that we've been spreading. He's like, how come more people don't know about you? He's like, what you're doing is needed. I'm like, yeah, I know. I know. We all know.
We say this over and over. We're just like, it is such a need. And I hear all these stories all the time, and they don't even know what we did, what 217 does. And they'll just be in conversation saying, well, I was supposed to go to treatment, a couple times. I had an appointment to go in and I couldn't find a way to get there. Right there. It's like, you know how much pain and suffering could have been avoided if we would have been able to help facilitate that. If people would have just figured out a way to give us a call and, coordinate that. And obviously there's insurance and yada, yada, figure it out. Well, that stuff gets in the way sometimes, but still.
But it doesn't have to. But see, a lot of people, again, like the whole topic of this week should just be education or learning, because when we don't know something, sometimes we just avoid it. Like when I'm trying to say something and it's a big word, I just use a different big word. I don't even try to say it sometimes, It's kind of like that. And when I was going to treatment, I didn't realize that it was the PIH. I didn't even know what a PIHP was. But for me, that was Southwest Michigan Behavioral Health. Well, it's up to them. If you're on medicating, you can't get there. It's up to them to get you there. And what they did was say, oh, we'll buy you a bus ticket from Benton Harbor. Well, no. No, I mean, that's very kind of them to do their job. But no, their real job was to get me to Benton Harbor, to that bus stop. And then once the bus stops, to get me from that bus stop to the treatment center. That's their job. Yep. That's their contract with the state of Michigan. But they don't do that. And they kind of bully people. And me, I felt like a piece of shit, like I didn't deserve it. And oh my God, thank you for even doing that. And then Swinburne they did not pay for my bus ticket. I had to spend my last $20 and then beg my mom to please give me the other 40 or whatever it was to get on that bus that took 12 hours and stopped at about 16 liquor stores. And I had a layover in Lansing where I heard the little prostitution deal going down, and it was just, it wasn't fun. But yeah, I had to do all that. But what we do is we drive to wherever they're at and take them right to treatment. And you have a recovery coach driving you, and that just makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's not $1 million. It doesn't cost that much. We're not making anything really. We're just making enough to, cover the driver's costs, but I haven't taken a dime. I donate my time so this money can go back to the company so that we can do other things. But like, it's crazy. Like when Justin drives, we got to pay him. He's a recovery coach, and that is awesome because we're putting recovery coaches to work.
Yeah.
And when people get in the car, they don't even realize it, but they're stepping into a 2-3 hour, sometimes 4 hour therapy session. Not that I'm saying I'm a therapist or anything, but when you just talk to people, sometimes it's kind of like when you go to a meeting. I use that as like therapy sometimes. It's like go to me and I get that stuff out and I just feel better. And a lot of these treatment places, these treatment centers I'm taking people to, I've been to, or at least know a little bit about, so I can kind of help them and guide them if they've never been there or never been to treatment before. And it's just like, okay. But yeah, and for Michigan to have 10 different PIHPs or whatever, like it's crazy. The Medicaid money that Michigan has, they have it. And then they give it to 10 different organizations to give it away, essentially. And they would probably argue that, oh, no, that's not how it works. I mean, but yeah, basically that's kind of how it works. And, each 10 of them have a president, vice president, and they're not making $8 an hour, so you start thinking, oh, well, where'd that money go? And then you're telling me that oh no, we can't pay for someone to ride with a recovery coach. What, you can't? Well, fire somebody. Somebody step down, because you know what? You just opened up 10,000 rides, it's insane. But anyway, not to preach on that, but I just think that it is important that we do talk about those kind of things. Nobody paid for this podcast. We can say whatever we want, and that's how I feel. And if I'm wrong, someone can please correct me. I've been asking the state, please tell me what good they do, and not one person can tell me one thing. And it's very frustrating when I ask, tell me one thing. Because right now in Michigan, the Michigan Senate was like, hey, let's get rid of these guys. Like, why are we paying these people all this money? Why do we have 10 different ones? We need just one. And somehow it got rejected from what I heard. But, somebody's pockets are getting lined is what I'm thinking. But tell me different,
right.
Show me different. How about that? But the cats are back.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Should we have fun now? Sometimes when I talk about that stuff, it's fun. Yeah, but we had a date night. It was good. We went to dinner, had a meeting.
Yeah.
Did some shopping. The cats are really like Nico. I think who's winning?
Nico's just angry.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
But it does feel good to have a day in recovery and to hear somebody else's kind of thoughts on things sometimes. And, I don't work the steps. I've said that before. I'm not saying there's something wrong with working the steps, but I still go to meetings. Mm-hmm. For me, it's about that connection that I have with other people in the room. We're all the same pretty much, mm-hmm. and I consider everybody there my people.
Yeah.
And that's why I take what I do in recovery so personal, and I'm so passionate about it, because this is my stuff, and this was me once, and I really want people to get it. I want everybody to just get a year and 2 years and 3 years and just run with it, man. I want everybody to feel this good.
Yeah.
And with whatever they're doing in life,
That was kind of the messaging that he had at the end of his, when he was wrapping up. He was just like, to be free of the obsession for drinking and drugs, it's just the most amazing feeling you'll ever feel. Like to not even think about not wanting it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't even think about the fact, like, I don't want alcohol today. I don't want to, it is. It's just, I'm living without it even being something that I debate about. And he was saying that, and I was just like, all I could do, I was just nodding my head, like,
And he kind of said too, the first 10 years he was just there to get his paper signed. But and kind of Adam was talking about this today too. It's like, it just feels different, when you're going to a meeting when you don't have to, mm-hmm. And you just start doing things that are the right thing to do. And it's not going to kill you, to go to a meeting, and you start to enjoy them. But have that right mindset when you're going into recovery, I think is a huge thing. And I was telling somebody that today too, is like, I had a different mindset when I went into treatment that last time. It was totally different. It wasn't like, oh, let's see what I can get away. It was like, no, let's buckle down and figure out what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Where's the problem here? And, we always have fun when we go to meetings, and, go to a meeting with a smile on your face, and you're going to come out with a smile on your face. Go to a meeting with a frown on your face, like, oh, this sucks, I hate it. It's going to be a shitty meeting. So going to your recovery with the same mindset is really huge. And when my mom and people would approach me, hey, watch this video. Hey, listen to this guy. He's talking about, he used to be an addict and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to hear it. It would have been completely different, at that time, if I would have been more open to it. But I still was fighting the whole stigma of, I don't want to be an alcoholic. I don't want to be that kind of person. Yeah. But I didn't have to be an alcoholic. I could have been a person in recovery, but I didn't know it at that time. I just thought, oh, once I get labeled an alcoholic, that I'm an alcoholic, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be an alcoholic, but I don't really say I'm an alcoholic today. I'm a person in recovery.
Yeah.
How you think about things really does change the aspect of everything you do in life, not just, oh, I don't drink. Okay. No, I mean, just everything though, it's like, I'm nice to you most of the time. Nice to my kitties most of the time. But
well, it's all about framing. It's all about, how you approach things. Like you said, I mean, like, instead of like, I have to go to a meeting, or I get to go to a meeting, like, that's something I can do. And that in itself is it's just awesome. It just feels great.
And that's just that right there is probably why the Detroit Lions are going to suck forever, because they have that stigma of, oh, I'm a Detroit Lion. I got to go pretend to play football today. Just kidding. That's a jab, but I'm just saying it might be a little bit of truth to that. Sorry, that was for Tyrone. He thinks that they're going to trade their quarterback, Goff, but he makes too much. He's a young guy. And I was kind of messing with Tyrone. Tyrone's a huge Detroit Lion fan, and he's a Stafford fan, so he was excited when Stafford won the Super Bowl. But early in the season, I was like, gosh, because I was watching a game, because they force you to watch it here in Michigan. You have to watch. It's so horrible. We should be paid money from that. Anyway, they make us watch these stupid Lion games, and Goff, their quarterback, kept throwing these interceptions. I was like, is he trying to lead the league in interceptions? Like, is that what he's trying to do? So I was kind of joking with Tyrone all year. And then I realized at the end of the year that Goff did not lead the NFL in interceptions. Matt Stafford did.
What?
Yeah. Wow. So I was kind of laughing. And then I find out that Goff has been to more Pro Bowls than Matthew Stafford. And I'm just like, ooh, like, dang, like that's kind of tough, because Stafford's supposed to be like, oh, and Goff actually has better stats and better, maybe not stats. Well, yeah, because Stafford doesn't really have that. His stats really aren't that good. But everybody's just like, oh, he's so good. He won a Super Bowl, so there you go, I guess.
Yeah, he must be doing something right.
Mm-hmm. They were talking about his wife and her breast implants the other day on the radio, and she got them like a long time ago. And I guess the media in Detroit, they were talking about how, oh yeah, your husband bought you those. And like, she got like real upset with the media and came out and was like, no, I paid for those myself. Like I got those before and I saved up my money.
Good for her.
Yeah, real good for her. So anyway, that's enough lion talk for the year.
Yep.
No more, I promise. Except when I say that they didn't give us anything for the auction we were going to do. Yeah, that's it. No more.
Okay.
So that's all I got really today. I was going to mention something else, but I really don't remember. So
it's a good day in recovery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen Tuesday, because we're going to have some announcements. And there's going to be a big party, a recovery party in Michigan. And we're going to be there. A bunch of our friends are going to be there, and you can be there too. It'll be a good time. So listen Tuesday. We'll talk about that.
Cool.
But yeah, thanks for listening. If you don't already have our app, you can get it. It's free. If you want to make a donation to help keep that free, you can do that too. 217recovery.com. Sign up to win a free shirt. We'll hook you up and send you some 217 Recovery gear. There's resources on our website as well. 217recovery.com, and our app is free in the Google Play Store and the Apple Store. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.